Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Rashmi and today I'm going to show you how to make this hexagon. For this tutorial I will be using lilac double knit yarn and a 4mm crochet hook. Let's start off by making a slip stitch. You can go ahead and make a slip stitch in whichever way you prefer. I'm going to show you this method. So you wrap your yarn around your index finger, pull the one on the left, move it over to the right, again pull the one on the left, move over to the right, but slip it off your fingertip this time. Pull these two to tighten the loop. Let's put a crochet inside and pull on this end to tighten this loop around your crochet. We're going to chain 5. Yarn over your crochet, pull through the loop. That's 1. Yarn over, pull through the loop. 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to make these chains into a loop by connecting this one to the very first chain here. So slip your crochet inside and pull up a loop and make this loop go through the very first loop that you had on your crochet. Now when you pull the stitches apart, you will see a space inside. That's where we are going to be doing our next round. Be sure to hold this piece of yarn next to your circle when you're doing your stitches, as this will allow it to get worked into the center here and you don't have to work it in at the end. So next round we're going to start by chaining 3. That's 1, 2, and 3. We're going to have one more chain. So the chain 3 part is a double crochet. Chain 1 is going to be a space in between the 2 double crochets. So from here, yarn over your crochet, go into the center of this circle and pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through the first 2, and then yarn over, pull through the next 2. Now we have 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet. From here we're going to chain 1 again, and let's do 1 more double crochet here together. Okay, just like this you're going to keep going, chain 1 in between your double crochets and then follow on by 1 more double crochet. We're going to need altogether 12 double crochets. Currently we have 3. My last one, 12. And chain 1. Now we're going to connect this chain 1 to the very first part of these 3 double crochets, 3 chains that we did. Okay, so let's locate our third chain out of these 4 chains. That's first one, that's second, and there's my third one. So I'm going to slip my crochet inside the third chain here, pull up a loop and make it go through the first loop that you had on your crochet. Now to start the next round you're going to chain 3. That's 1, 2, and 3. Now in this chain 1 space you're going to go ahead and do 2 double crochets inside this. Yarn over, stick your crochet in that space and pull up a loop. Yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over, go through the next 2. Just like this. Let's do 1 more in the same space. Now from here we're going to do 1 more on top of the next double crochet. Yarn over, go into that stitch right there and pull up a loop. Yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over, go through the next 2. Just like this. We're going to follow this with chain 2 and repeat the same process in the next 2 double crochets. Okay, so we're going to skip this chain 1 and do a double crochet in the next double crochet here, right there. Let's do 2 more in the space here, chain 1 space. That's 1, that's 2. 1 more on top of our previous double crochet right there. Now once you have 4 double crochets you're going to chain 2. We're going to skip the chain 1 space here and go work on the next double crochet. We're going to use that one to put 1 double crochet on top, 2 double crochets in this space here, and 1 more double crochet on top of this one. So we've got 4 all together. We're going to chain 2, skip that chain 1 space and work a double crochet on top of the next one here. 2 in the chain here, and 1 more on top of this one. Just like this you're going to finish this whole round and meet me at the end over here. I'm at the end of this round now, and I have chain 2 already. I'm going to slip stitch on top of these chain 3. There's my first one, second, and there's the third one. Slip your crochet inside this, pull up a loop, and slip stitch like this. From here we're going to chain 3 to start the next round. Now yarn over, we're going to go into the same space and do a double crochet, followed by 1 double crochet on the next 2 double crochets. That's 1, that's 2, and we're going to have 2 more double crochets in the next stitch here. So yarn over, go into that space and do 2 double crochets in the same space. From here we're going to chain 2 above our chain 2 space like this. Go into the next one, and we're going to do 2 double crochets there. That's 1, and another one in the same space, just like this, followed by 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then 2 double crochets in this one. That's 1 and 2. Chain 2 above the chain 2 space from previous round, and go ahead and do 2 more double crochets on top of these double crochets. That's 1 and that's 2. So in this round you're going to do the 4 double crochets that we have from previous round. You're going to do 2 double crochets on the very first double crochet, then 1 double crochet on the next one, 1 double crochet on top of the next one, and the last stitch should have 2 more double crochets there. And to skip this chain 2 space, we're going to chain 2 again. Okay, so just like this, complete this whole round and meet me back here. I'm now at the end of this round, and I'm going to chain 2 to skip these 2 chains from previous round, and I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch on top of our chain 3 from previous round. That's the first, second, and there we go. Slip a crochet in, pull up a loop, go through the first one, and that completes your round 3. We're going to start our round 4 with chain 3 again. Now round 4 is very similar to round 3, as we are chaining 3 and going back into the same space and doing a double crochet right here. So we have 2 double crochets on top of our first one here. We're going to now have 1 double crochet on top of each of these double crochets, and the very last double crochet from this set is going to have 2 in the same space. Okay, let's work on this together. So that's the first one done. Let's locate the second and put a double crochet on top of that stitch. There's my third one, fourth one, fifth, and now I'm on my last stitch of this set. In this I am going to have 2 double crochets in the same stitch. That's 1, back into the same space, and another double crochet. Okay, 2 more chains to skip this part from my previous round. Yarn over, go into the next double crochet space, put your crochet through that space and pull up a loop, yarn over the first 2, yarn over the next 2. Let's make another double crochet in that space. Just like this, you're going to have 1 double crochet on top of each of these stitches, and the last stitch is going to have 2 double crochet. Okay, so go ahead and finish this round following the same method, and I'll see you at the end here. I'm at the end of this round. I've already chained 2. I'm going to connect this with my chain 3 from my previous at the beginning. So let's stick this crochet in the top part of this chain, pull up a loop, make it go through the first one to do a slip stitch. In this round we're going to have 1 double crochet on top of each of these. Okay, starting off with chain 3 again. Let's yarn over, so that's the double crochet on top of this chain 3 already, as this chain 3 is considered as a double crochet. Yarn over, go into the next stitch and do a double crochet there, following with 1 double crochet on each of these stitches like this. Okay, now once we've finished all our double crochets, in this chain 2 space you're going to chain 2, and we're going to slip stitch in here like this, and have 2 more chains. Chain 2 again. We're going to now go ahead and do 1 double crochet on top of each of these stitches. Yarn over, go into that space, pull up a loop. That's first one, second one, third, fourth, fifth, okay. After these double crochets, you're going to chain 2, slip stitch into the chain 2 space from previous round, and chain 2 again. We move on to the next space here, do double crochet on every single one of them, chain 2, slip stitch in this chain 2 space, and then chain 2 again. Just like this, you're going to complete this whole round and meet me back here. I'm at the end of this round now. We're going to start off by chaining 2, that's 1 and 2, and follow this on with a slip stitch in this chain 2 space from our previous round. Let's go ahead and chain 2 one more time, and this time we're going to do a slip stitch on top part of these chain 3. There's my third chain here, slip your crochet in and do a slip stitch like this. That completes our round. Now from here we are going to reduce the number of double crochets one more time. We're not going to do a double crochet on top of this double crochet from our previous round, but we're going to start on the next one. Okay, to do this, just do a slip stitch in that double crochet. So we're basically missing our chain 3 and doing a slip stitch in the next space here. Follow this on with a chain 3 because this will be our first double crochet, which is on top of this stitch right here. Go ahead and do 5 more double crochets in the next few stitches. So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, 4, and 5. You'll notice that there is 1 more left, and we are going to actually leave that undone. So we're not going to do anything in that. After this, we're going to chain 3 this time and slip stitch in our first chain 2 space like this. Chain 3 one more time, slip stitch in the next chain 2 space, and for the last time chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to miss our double crochet first one, and we're going to make a double crochet on top of the second stitch here. So we're missing this one and we're doing a double crochet in there. Follow this on with 5 more double crochets to make the total count to 6. We're going to miss this next stitch and chain 3, slip stitch in our first chain 2 space from our previous round, chain 3 again, slip stitch in our next chain 2 space from our previous round, and chain 3 again. And this time miss 1 double crochet, go into the next double crochet, so make a double crochet on top of that stitch like this. So just like this, you're going to follow the same method and go all the way around and see me back here. I'm almost at the end of this round. We are going to work the last few chains together. So chain 3, we're going to make a slip stitch in the first chain 2 space like this. We're going to chain 3 again. 1, 2, 3. Slip stitch in the next space like this, and chain 3 one more time. This chain 3 we're going to connect on top part of these chain 3 from our beginning. So stick our crochet in the third chain, pull up a loop, make this loop go through the first loop, and that completes our round. Now to start the next round, instead of having 6 double crochets, we want 4 altogether. So we're going to have we're going to skip the first double crochet, have 1 here, 2, 3, and 4. So we're going to be skipping a double crochet in the front and a double crochet at the back. So let's do this together. Let's do a slip stitch in the next stitch here. So leaving the chain 3 space, we've just moved to the first double crochet. Here we're going to chain 3 to make this our double crochet. From here, go ahead and do 3 double crochets in the next 3 stitches, just like this. Now we've got 1 left. We are going to leave that and we're going to chain 3 instead. This chain 3, we're going to go into the chain 3 space from our previous round and do a slip stitch like this. Chain 3 again, slip stitch in the next chain 3 space, and let's chain 3 again, slip stitch in the next chain 3 space, and one more time chain 3, and this time yarn over, leave the first double crochet, move on to the next double crochet stitch and do a double crochet on top of this one like this. From here, do 3 more double crochet in the next 3 stitches. We're going to leave this double crochet on the stitch, chain 3 instead, slip stitch in the first chain 3 space, chain 3 again, slip stitch in the next chain 3 space, and chain 3 again, and slip stitch in the last chain 3 space. Now we're going to chain 3 for the final time. So we're doing chain 3 4 times in here in a row. Yarn over, leave the first stitch, go into the next one and make a double crochet on top like this. Follow this on with 3 more double crochets and we're going to have 4 lots of chain 3s like these ones. Okay, so follow the same method all around and I'll see you at the end here. I'm now at the end of this round. We're going to chain 3 and do a slip stitch in our first chain 3 space, chain 3 again, slip stitch in our second chain 3 space, chain 3 again, slip stitch in our third chain 3 space, and finally chain 3 one last time, and we're going to slip stitch on top part of these chain 3 from the beginning, okay, which was our double crochet. So right on the top and slip it through the first loop that you had on your crochet. Now that completes this round as well. In the next round, instead of having 4 double crochets in a row, we are only going to have 2, and the rest of it will be made with chains. So to do this, you're going to slip your crochet in the center of these 4 double crochets. So leave 2 on this side, leave 2 on that side, and locate your center stitch. It's right here. Slip your crochet there like this and pull up a loop and do a slip stitch right there. Now from here you're going to chain 3, which is 1 double crochet. Follow this on with another double crochet in the same space. There we go, just like this. Now we're going to chain 3 and slip stitch in our first chain 3 space from our previous round. Chain 3 again, slip stitch in our second chain 3 space from our previous round. Chain 3 again, slip stitch in the third space, chain 3 again, slip stitch in our fourth chain 3 space, and finally chain 3 again, and this time you're going to yarn over, go in the center part of these 4 stitches, which is right here, and we're going to make 2 double crochets in the same stitch. So that's 1 and that's my second one. There we go. Now just to review this side, so you're going to make 2 double crochets in the center part of the 4 stitches from our previous round, and the rest of it is going to be made up with these chain 3s. So we're going to chain 3 each time and slip stitch in our previous spaces, and then chain 3 and do these 2 double crochets. So go ahead and finish this round and I'll see you at the end. I'm almost at the end of this round. We're going to do the chain part together. So chain 3, do a slip stitch in the first chain 3 space, chain 3 again, slip stitch in the next chain 3 space, chain 3, slip stitch in our third chain 3 space, chain 3, slip stitch in our fourth chain 3 space, and finally chain 3. Then we're going to slip stitch in our double crochet from the beginning, which is our chain 3 here. So on top part of this chain 3, put your crochet in, yarn over, pull up a loop, and make this loop go through the first one on your chain. Here we go. Now this round looks like this when it's finished. I'm now going to change the color to white, and I'm going to put this in any of these chain 3 spaces. So you can go ahead and do it wherever you like. I'm just going to stick to one here. So put your yarn through this loop and give it a little knot like this. Slip your crochet back in the same space and pull up a loop like this. Let's start with chain 3. That's considered as a double crochet, and we're going to follow this on with 2 more double crochets in the same space. Yarn over, go into the same loop and make 2 more double crochets right here. Moving on from chain 3 space to another chain 3 space, you're not going to do anything. We're simply going to go into the next section and make 3 more double crochets. That's 1, 2, and 3. The next space, 1, 2, 3, and keep going until you come to the top part of these double crochets. Okay, so once you've had 3 double crochets in every single chain 3 space, you're going to chain 2. This is going to form our corner. So we're going to chain 2 to skip these 2 double crochets and go straight into the next space here with yarn over first, and then go into that next space and pull up a loop. We're going to do 3 more double crochets there. So that's 2, and here's my 3rd one. So follow this on. We're going to every chain 3 space, you're going to do 3 double crochets. When you get to these 2 double crochets from our previous round, you're going to chain 2 to skip them, and then carry on with your chain 3 spaces by doing 3 double crochet in every single one of these. So go all the way around, guys, and I'll see you at the end here. I've just worked my last 3 double crochets in the last chain 3 space, and we are going to connect this with the first chain 3 here. So let's do that by putting our crochet in the top part of these chain 3 and doing a slip stitch. To close this round, we're going to chain 1 and snip a long bit off. Let's pull this through, and let's pull this stitch down to secure it in place like this. Okay, we're now going to use a darning needle to weave all these ends in. I'm only going to show you one, and you can go ahead and do the same with all the others as well. Now from here, we're going to go down one of these chain 3s and work our way back up in the double crochet. Just going down here like this, make our way through this stitch, and then make our way back into this stitch like this in a V shape. We can go up on the top and just make our way back into the 3rd double crochet as well, just like this. And once we've done this, we can go ahead and snip the yarn off because it's now secure. Okay, so this is what it looks like once it is completed. You can go ahead and snip this off as this has already been weaved in at the beginning. I'm going to snip that, and I'm going to finish these 2 off, and I'll see you at the end. So now I've weaved all the ends in, and this is what it looks like. If you enjoyed making this with me, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.